out of here. Go. Hello and welcome to Cheese, a Healthy Fruit, a podcast where two sisters reminisce on growing up in rural Wisconsin. I'm Cydel.
And I'm Jade. I love just pausing afterwards and just looking at you.
I love that we never have anything to talk about when we start this podcast.
The problem is that we talk during setup.
Yeah.
We should not talk to each other until we hit record.
Yep. I should stop talking to you altogether.
Okay. That's fair. We could just play all of the TikToks that you send me.
TikTok of the week.
And it's just like 85 of them because Cydel just spams me a whole bunch. And then I spam like a quarter of those to my wife and she goes, "You send me so many." And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
It's your topic, so I'm going to let you jump in whenever you want to jump in.
Yeah, I have no updates about my life because I'm here to tell you about an update about my life.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I can't ask you how you've been because, like, I guess that could be a sagoo, but...
Yeah. So I have been at a place.
Yeah.
For the last...
The mental hospital.
Like, 5 days.
Where you
6
belong.
days.
I think we all need to be checked out a little bit.
Yeah. I'm fairly certain that I have ADHD and it's affecting my life in a very big way.
Yeah. I think that's part of my issue as well.
Yep.
But I like that I also go from telling my wife that I definitely have ADHD or autism to going, I probably don't. And then she looks at me and she's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's wrong, but that's fine.
I was just talking to somebody about how, like, I have tons of hobbies, and one of my hobbies is D&D, and, like, he asked me, like, what campaign I'm in, and I'm like, well, we have 2 campaigns, and I thought, like, and a billion one-shots, and then I had, the thought of, like, the boys that I play D&D with are more neurodivergent than I am.
Yeah.
And so every time that, like, they have an idea for, like a one-shot that we need to do or a campaign that we need to do, we're just like, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's make 5 more characters.
Yeah. They're like, I don't know how to fit this into our normal storyline, so here's a one-shot.
Yeah, let's do a one-shot. Mm-hmm. And, like, I opened a can of worms because we were running one campaign. But then I was like, man, I missed that old campaign that we just kind of let drop. And then our DM was like, well, we can play it again, you know? And then we have like 3 DMs. Mm-hmm. So the one that was running the campaign that we were, the single campaign that we were playing, he was like, yeah, that would be great because he isn't running like out of a book. He's running, it's his own campaign.
Yeah, so he's got a lot more backstory.
So he's got a plan.
He's build, yeah,
he's got a plan. He's like, having 2 weeks to plan would be cool. Then that opened up the possibility for doing multiple campaigns at the same time.
Yeah.
And now we're doing a ton.
Mm-hmm. You're like, who the fuck am I?
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, so I've been at a place.
Physically.
Yep.
Not mentally. Your brain just stopped.
I've been mentally in that place as well. I was present.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, man. But I went to a little place called Rockfest.
Tell us what Rockfest is.
Rockfest is actually very important to the state of Wisconsin. It is the largest rock festival in the state of Wisconsin. It is Rockfest is in Cadott, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Just outside of Chippewa Falls. The Chippewa Valley Music Festival is the location of Rockfest. They also have Hoofbeat, the festival formerly known as Country Fest.
Wait, is that what it's called now?
Hoofbeat.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought it was still Country Fest.
They just announced this year that they're changing the name.
Are they changing it for next year?
Next year.
Oh, okay.
It will be Hoofbeat.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. And no one likes it, but it is what it is.
I wonder why.
Because it's confusing. Because there are other country fests in other states.
Yeah.
And then there are also there's also Country Jam.
Yeah.
And Country Boom. Mm-hmm. And in talking to people about Country Fest, I do realize that people do get them confused.
Oh, yeah.
So it kind of makes sense. Mm-hmm. But it's also they had the copyright for Country Fest. Mm-hmm. So they could have gone after everybody else for having two similar names.
Yeah.
But instead they decided to be the ones to
they just
roll over.
Yeah.
That's
whatever.
It's also it's also I feel like the branding fits well when you see Country Fest and Rock Fest. You're like, they're similar. Mm-hmm. The naming convention is the same, so I can expect a similar experience at each of these fests. Yeah. You're like, it's at the same location. It has the same schedule. Mm-hmm. It's just a different genre.
Yeah.
And you can expect the same thing, which is what you should, because they are very similar.
Yeah.
It's run by the same people.
Yeah.
At the same place, and it has the same schedule.
Yeah.
So, and now there's also another fest that just moved into the grounds, One Fest, which is Christian music.
Oh, interesting.
It's still very small. They have 2 stages running. Yeah, and I think it's not the length either. I think it's 1 or 2 days.
Yeah, I know a couple people who go to Life Fest.
Yes, that's very big.
Yeah, I don't know where that is hosted.
I don't know either. But everybody's like, have you been to Life Fest? Have you been to Life Fest? And I'm like, no, I've never been to Life Fest. But I'll probably be a part of One Fest once it's established. Everything. Yeah. Once it grows to our stage.
Yeah.
So Rockfest was established in 1994, which makes this year's Rockfest the 30th Rockfest, the Dirty 30.
Nice.
Yes. Their slogan is "Where we just rock." Rockfest, where we just rock. It's an excellent festival. Mm-hmm. It is 3 days long, with caveat of a half day on Wednesday for people who have 3-day passes.
Yes, there's a bonus half day.
There's a bonus day
if you buy all 3 days.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which gives you the opportunity to see some of the side stage performers that you might miss during the other 3 days. Because don't they have mostly it's side stage people who are on stage?
I mean, yeah, but there are different people. There can be different people. What we tend to have, the main stage isn't running. There's only, I think it's actually only 2 of the stages that are running on Wednesdays. Sometimes it's a place to see older bands. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or smaller bands. 2016. Queensryche was headlining. I think also Led Zeppelin was there. Or something like that. Yeah. In 2016, it was definitely a time to see older bands.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And cover bands of older bands.
Yeah. Well, those guys weren't there yet.
Well, not on Wednesdays, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah. There are 5 stages, 70 plus bands, and 7,500 campsites.
That's insane.
It's ridiculous. It's like this farm out in the middle of nowhere, Cadott.
Mm-hmm.
And the campsites like sprawl into like neighboring farms. Like
That's wild.
it's ridiculous. It's kind of the way that the festival grounds is set up as well is kind of similar to an amphitheater. It's nice. It's on a hill. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it has this nice amphitheater effect.
Yeah. So if you are like in the back, like where you enter, you can still see the main stage.
Yeah. It's the first thing you see. Mm-hmm. And you can hear it and everything.
Oh, well, you can hear it from miles away.
Yeah. The delay is massive.
Oh, yeah.
It's a huge distance that it's covering, you know. So it is fun to watch from our stage because the lights and the cameras, like, things happen on them, and then, like, 2 seconds later, you hear it, and it's so trippy.
Yeah.
You kind of can't focus on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the 5 stages are the main stage. And then we have the Bud Light Who is on Top stage, Budweiser's Boneyard stage, the Jack Daniel's Tribute stage, and the Loud and Local stage.
The way that you have those labeled.
Yeah, because I wrote them
in the
as
order.
they came to me, and then I reordered them into like their correct order.
Okay. I should not be looking at your notes right now, but I'm like,
it's very freeform
all over, but that's fine.
I'm gonna this next bullet points are the exact same way.
Okay.
But yeah, so you can find a just multitude of experiences at Rockfest. You can see some really big bands. Mm-hmm. You can see some very local bands, some very small bands, tribute. Mm-hmm. You have the opportunity to see bands in the huge on main stage with a huge amphitheater effect playing to the entire festival. You have the opportunity to go into the side stages and have a very intimate experience. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about let's dive into some of that main stage versus side stage. So of course the main stage is what it is. Main stage, I will describe to you what the venue's seating crowd availability.
So main stage is kind of what you're buying your tickets for.
Yeah. Crowd spaces are available. So you've got the stage, it's big, it's got a thrust. Directly in front of the stage, of course, you have the pit. It's very deep down in there. Honestly, your head is like not even at the stage level.
Yeah.
And yeah. But
they really took the word pit and thought it meant
pit.
A pit in the ground.
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, I think that main stage is very catered to this very interesting experience, which is the VIP. Mm-hmm. VIP has bench seating right behind the pit, and you are, probably at the optimal level for viewing the main stage. Also, the optimal distance. You almost do get the intimate experience with the main stage. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, especially with how they have it set up, too, because there's a rather, high wall in the back. Mm-hmm. So, realistically, if you are in VIP, unless you turn your whole body around and look up, you won't even see GA.
Yes.
You are in the VIP section.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's very separated. It has bench seating. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe I'll dive into VIP a little bit more later. Then behind VIP, you have the reserved lawn. seating. And those are lawn chairs that are also provided by Rockfest, and they're right on top of that wall.
Yeah.
And so they're the closest, they're like a step up from GA.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like the ones that if it was still GA there, people would rush there on that Wednesday to set up their chairs.
Well, they do it every day because they have to take their chairs home.
Yes, but I mean, like, they would, like, try to get there, like, right away at 8 a.m. when they start. Like,
yes.
Get in there, set your stuff up. But this way, like, you have your seat. Yes. And it's, like, reserved for you.
And, of course, people still do that. People in GA that have access to everything else, everything beyond that point in the festival, they do still rush up to get to sit right behind the reserved seating. Yeah. And then there's also like hay bales. Like you need to bring your own chair to GA. But they also have like some hay bales sitting around higher up on the hill. Yeah. That, like, if you're lucky, you could get to sit on a hay bale.
Yeah, I actually saw, I don't even know, when we were there, I've only been once, it was in 2016, but I saw, like, there was a whole family, and the little kids had their, like, noise-canceling headphones on.
Oh, yeah.
And we were walking up the hill to go see, like, one of the side stages, and they had a, like, blanket set out, and that's what they had. Like, instead of chairs and stuff, they were, like, kind of up on one of the hills, so, like, nobody usually stops there. So they just had their kids running around with their, like, glow stick necklaces on because it was getting, like, dark out, and they were just hanging out. It was such a cute little vibe. I'm like, cute little nice family stuff. Let's now watch Five Finger Death Punch.
That is something that and Five Finger Death Punch was like, bring all your kids up here. We're gonna sing Burn, Motherfucker.
Yeah, they literally had kids on the stage.
And that was the song they chose to play. What the fuck? I went, wait, why?
You were so excited. You can't even lie to me.
I was confused about that, though. But I was very excited to see Five Finger Death Punch, and they did a great job.
You got really excited to be called a motherfucker.
Yes. That's something that I don't have on here, but maybe I should like add it and we should come back to it, is the people at Rockfest.
Oh my God, yes.
There's also another seating option, which is the top tier lounge, which is also VIP. They added more seating to VIP. And it's an elevated seating area with it has like these nice like lounge chairs, and it's covered. It's cool.
Elevated where?
It is to stage left. Okay. Of the main stage.
Okay, kind of where they were selling the tickets.
Yes, right next to the ticket sales.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm on this point. Yes. So we've got the main stage is playing to the whole festival grounds. Obviously, the biggest bands are going to be on this stage. A misconception, though, about Rockfest is that the only place that you can see big bands is the main stage. This is false. People like to think it's easy to think and assume, and I assumed it initially, that there is the main stage, hard line, side stages. Yeah. You know, and that's how people assume. But I believe it was in 2016, there was built the Who's on Top stage. And the Who's on Top stage has become, at the very least, the same tier level as the main stage. Oh, especially towards the end of the night. The way that I see it, and I think I'm correct, because this is how it's also advertised. On t-shirts, on posters, you will see on each day 3 bands at the top of that day. One is much bigger than the other one.
Yeah, that's the headliner.
But then next to it are 2 other headliners. So the way that I see it is there are 3 headliners each night. Headliner number 3, who plays second to last on the main stage. Headliner number 2, who is the headliner on the Who's on Top stage. And headliner number 1, who is the big dog at the main stage with the headliner spot.
Yeah.
Every single year, you will hear people watch the headliner at Who's on Top and say, they should be on the main stage, not realizing that they are at the same level as those headliners.
Yeah.
They are also the headliner. They aren't, just because they're on Who's on Top doesn't mean they're not headlining.
Yeah.
Rockfest is a place where you can listen to music at all times. They want you to always be in the music. So there are no breaks.
Yeah.
Main stage plays, side stage plays. And that's how it goes all day long. Main stage, side stages, main stage, side stages. And that's the schedule.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, they don't want you just going to hearing music all the time. They want you running to see these big acts.
Yes.
They want you running from headliner to headliner. They want the energy to really amp up.
Yeah.
And that's why they do it like that. That's why the headliner on Who's on Top is the same tier as the headliner on the main stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only thing that kind of changes, like, how I see where people get upset that they're not on the main stage is that there are other stages running at the same time as that person is going.
Yeah.
So that means, like, they're a choice. But I've also seen people walk out on, like, the, like, second opener, like, the opener before the, like, you know,
Yeah.
3 people from the,
Like headliner number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen people walk out of that because they don't like it. Like, this is just how it is. So,
Like,
like,
people leave during the headliner as well because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like, I'm tired and
We
these
left
guys
during
weren't as good as
Slipknot
I thought they were going to be.
was-
Yeah.
it was rough, to be honest with you. Like, I like Slipknot's radio stuff, but whatever we watched in 2016, I did not like.
They have a lot of drums, and Dad was not into the drums. He was like, okay, you've done the same thing over and over. It's
Yeah.
great. You've got drums.
Yeah.
I'm going home.
It was also, there was a lot of flashing stuff too. And I
Yeah.
was so tired because that was the Saturday headliner. So we had already done Wednesday night to Saturday night. And I was just like, you are overwhelming me and my senses.
Oh, yeah.
I need to go.
It's exhausting. I don't even, I think I've tried to, like, watch. I mean, it also maybe it happens that, like, since I've been working, that I have been most interested in the Thursday headliner, but I've only ever tried to go watch the Thursday headliner, like, actually leave our stage and go into the crowd. Only done it on Thursday, and I think part of that is just exhaustion. You know, like, after I'm done loading out our headliner, there's, like, I don't have desire to run down and watch.
Yeah.
But there is something, though, that Who's on Top offers the audience that the main stage often does not offer. And this is something that Lou Brutus will talk about. He always says it once during the weekend. He compares it to a few other stages, and he says that the intimacy that you get from the Who's on Top stage and the energy that gets transferred at that stage is unmatched.
Yeah, that connection.
And it's something that, like, bands have talked about. Bands choose to be on Who's on Top because of that intimacy.
Yeah.
That they lose on the main stage.
Yeah.
And there are bands on the main stage that have complained about it.
Yes, they have, like, openly complained that there's kind of that hole. Yeah.
like Ronnie Radke in 22, complained so hard. He complains about everything, but he complained so hard about it. He was like, he was like, the VIP section breaks up the there are just people just like sitting and listening to my music. They shouldn't be sitting and listening to my music. I want all standing room at my venues. Is basically what he was trying to say.
Yeah. He was like, these people weren't excited enough.
Jared Leto this year of 30 Seconds to Mars also said something similar. There was a point where he was like seeing holes in the VIP section, and he's like, you guys up there, if you want to get closer, just come on down. And he was like, you guys in the chair, you guys on the benches that are farther back, come in and fill these ones that are open closer up, like because they are losing that intimacy and you want it, you know. But yeah, that's what I'm going to say about that. But the Who's on Top, I honestly feel that venue is great for metal, especially. Like metal artists just don't want to have sitting.
Yes.
They want to have people up and moving.
Well, yeah.
They want them moshing, which is also, Rockfest is not
conducive for that.
Made for moshing.
Yeah.
That was never one of their goals. But this year they did add moshing. They're testing it out to possibly add it to all the side stages, maybe. Maybe is their goal. But, I mean, moshing can be unsafe.
Yes.
And so, like, I understand Rockfest's desire to not have it.
Yes. Yeah. It's not good for them when other festivals allow it, where you can see similar bands. And people are like, well, I'd rather mosh.
Yeah.
So I get it.
But the thing is that Rockfest offers an experience that is different from those.
Oh, yeah.
And it is an experience that's desirable. Like, I have heard people say, like, maybe we should get rid of VIP because you can't stand and mosh in that area right in front of the stage, and you should be able to. But the thing is that, no, you can't get rid of VIP because VIP sells out before that year's festival is over.
Yeah. For the next year.
Yeah. People want that experience. The VIP experience is desirable at Rockfest. So much so that it is so competitive that everything is sold out.
Yeah.
Like, you want VIP tickets in 2025? Sorry, they're gone. They're gone. They've announced they're sold out.
Yeah.
Even the reserved lawn is sold out.
Yeah.
Already. It's all sold out. Because people like that experience. And honestly, we'll dig it. Oh, I'm getting too in the weeds with VIP. Yeah. I'm trying to talk about this part first, I guess. But we'll go into VIP. So they did have moshing at the Boneyard stage. They had a section that was barricaded off, which I'm also very for, having a barricaded section, because that's
a designated area. Yeah.
One of the worst parts about moshing is pulling people who do not wish to mosh into the mosh. Yeah. Being able to just have a clear line. It's just you don't want to mosh, you're over there. You want to mosh, you're over there. You know, and it just helps people. It just keeps people safer, and allows people consent.
Yes. Yeah, and that is incredibly important.
Yes. Also, we did have moshing at our stage, at the Who's on Top stage for one band, and I don't know if they'll be invited back because I didn't hear anything about it, but that tends to be the procedure when bands break rules at Rockfest, is that they're just not invited back. And I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if this band will be.
Did they intentionally break that rule?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
But there's been bands in the past. We had a band last year where one of the band members played naked, and my stage manager was approached by the boss, and he said they're not invited back. You know, and that's how it goes.
Yeah.
When you break rules, it's just you're not invited back.
Yeah.
But no, the band that they said make a circle pit. They said circle pit, make it, do it. You know, and I think the audience members were hesitant because it is not allowed.
Yeah.
And they know that.
Mm-hmm.
And the security, you know, was they were, I mean, it happened. And and I think that I think it was, you know, fairly controlled and everything, but the security was concerned and they were watching.
Yeah.
You know, they were there. I think crowd surfing is also technically not allowed at Rockfest, but also some of that happened as well.
Yeah.
And I did see the security. I feel like security, last year when crowd surfing happened, they pushed people back into the crowd, which I think is unsafe. But this year instead, they did what I think you should do, which is they brought them to the stage side of the barricade and then sent them back, you know, sent them walking around.
Yeah.
Which I think is a safe thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot better than throwing them into a crowd of people, a literal mob of people.
Yeah, just pushing them back down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, but anyway. That stuff is not allowed because it's it's unsafe.
It is unsafe, yeah.
And it's something that, I'm aware, if you're here, I'm not saying that metal is unsafe and these things that, and moshing and crowd surfing cannot be safe. Metal has an extreme culture around these things. We don't just do them flippantly, willy-nilly, you know, carelessly. Yeah. We take care of each other. Mm-hmm. When people fall down, somebody fell down at Rockfest, at our stage. The singer shut down the music and he said, pick her up.
Yep.
You know, and that's the correct thing to do. And this is what makes metal great.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people think metal and rock is just so hard.
Yes.
It's so unfeeling and uncaring, and that is absolutely not the experience that I have had with any I feel like I've felt the safest at rock concerts.
Yes.
That is where I know everyone has your back.
Yes. Our first year, 2016, I was 14, and I said to our father, I've never felt so safe around a bunch of drunk people.
Yeah, and literal strangers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a culture of taking care of each other, and of course, and that needs to be there, and that needs to be something that the artists are enforcing. Yeah,
and respecting too if it's not normal for what they expect.
Needs to be something that the security is ready for. It needs to be something that all of the fans are aware of, and they need to share that with each other. Because also, when a new guy comes, whatever they experience at their first concert is what they're gonna assume is normal.
Yeah.
So if they just get elbowed in the face and no one is advocating for each other, you know, and we're just throwing small women on the ground or something, you know, when things are just really violent and senseless and you know, people assume that that's how things should be, and then they take that to their next concert and it makes the next mosh pit that much more dangerous. And we need to keep that culture of keeping each other safe. Yeah. We can have fun without throwing elbows and fists. And making sure that everyone stays on their feet.
Yeah.
You know. So that's moshing.
Yeah.
And a lot of the bands, I'll also say that a lot of the bands, they will also they won't blatantly break the rules, but they'll say things like, I know I can't tell you to mosh, but whatever you do, you do. And I'm gonna tell you to bounce. You know, they'll be like, but you better get up off your feet and bounce. You know?
Yeah.
They'll say that.
Well, yeah, there's a fine line of, like, skirting the rules and, like, openly breaking them. Like, there are certain things that, like, they're gonna happen.
Yeah.
And you can encourage, like, the safe version of that. So, like, yeah, we're gonna have people bounce, but, like, don't get all up on each other because we're gonna get in trouble and you're gonna get in trouble. So, I get that. Versus, like, literally telling people, like, you need to mosh right now. Like,
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. And this is something that, like, all metal bands need to work out with their venues.
Yes.
You know, you always have to talk with your venue, you know, and maybe it's something that you put on your rider. If you're like, you have to be able to mosh at this venue. You can put it on your rider and then the venue can be like,
we can't do that.
We're going to hire you or not based off of the need for a pit.
I think that's truly just a, like, good open communication thing anyway between artists and venues. Like, you guys should be able to match together because otherwise it's just going to be a horribly strained relationship. You're never going to come back. You're going to hate the experience, both of them, and they are never going to work together. Yeah. And that just isn't good for anyone. Like, the fans aren't going to like it. The people who work at the venue aren't going to like it. The, like, stagehands and everything, they are all going to have a rough time. The roadies, everything. Yep.
Which, I mean, back to Ronnie Radke, the way he handled that situation was poor.
Yeah,
and
was piss poor.
And I don't, you know, and, like...
Our father still talks about that.
Yep. I do, too. There are people...
right now, yeah.
There are people... Right now... I do it all the time. Yeah. I don't like Ronnie Radke. I think he tore apart my home venue and it's personal. And I want him out of Rockfest, banned from Rockfest. I don't know the state of whether he's really banned
or if, like, basically the public has shunned him.
Yes. But I think he should be banned from Wisconsin and Minnesota. Out of solidarity, but that's me. But I feel like there was probably a miscommunication between Rockfest and Ronnie Radke, and that's probably why, like, he wasn't prepared for what the venue was going to look like. So then he complained about it. He just tore apart the entire festival and all the promoters and everything. Yeah, and the catering and he tore and the fans and everyone.
Yeah, he literally, like, took every single aspect of his experience and said it was shit.
Yep. Yeah. And a lot of it was his fault.
Yeah. A lot of it was self-imposed. Yeah.
Like, the audience isn't going to have energy when you come out 10 minutes late.
Yeah, and then tell them, why aren't you excited?
Yeah. Like, you also played on the main stage. I'll give you that. The main stage is not the place to get audience energy. Yeah. You know, and it sucks. Yeah. The main stage just kind of sucks.
Yeah, like, how did you not talk to anyone else who has been at Rockfest?
Yeah.
Or, like, I guess not talk to, but listen to other people, because I think that might be the problem there. Yeah. He might know other, like, performers who have been there, but did not communicate with them at all.
Yeah. And there's people who will say, he had points. He had good points. But the thing is that he didn't present them in a meaningful way.
It was piss poor
didn't
delivery.
Have to be an asshole about it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a thing about being a critic, and then on the other side of that is just being a dick. Yeah. Like, you can be, like, critical and critique what's going on, or you can just fucking complain. Yep. And, like, you're not doing it to help anyone but yourself, because all you want to do is, like, get your feelings out into the air. Yeah. You don't want to help, like, the other side improve. Like, you just want to go, this sucked, and I'm going to go pout in a corner. Yeah. 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 He's never going to be on the podcast, is he?
Huh? Why would I ever want to have a sit down with this man?
I'm just saying, we went in hard on this guy. I wasn't even there. I just have secondhand anger. Mm-hmm. But Milton is really good at sharing his thoughts and feelings.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, that guy's a dick.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he's a dick.
There was a man who had a shirt that said, fuck Ronnie Radke. And I said, that's a great shirt. And he said, people have been taking pictures of me all weekend.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Because he doesn't belong there.
No.
He doesn't belong at Rockfest.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the tickets, even though we've kind of already covered that. Let's talk about VIP, because that's the only thing that, like, we still have details on that we haven't covered. Mm-hmm. Of course, GA, you've got access to all the side stages, and you can see the main stage from a distance. Mm-hmm. And you have refreshment stations where you can fill up your water.
And there's, like, vendors.
Yes, and then you have vendors, and you have, at each of the stages, they have beer and cocktails.
Yeah, they've got, like, a little bar. Yeah.
To buy, and they are, all of those places, each of those bars are run by charities.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. Yep. So you're helping out charities while you're drinking, like Joshua Tree, and then there are like fair vendors, fair food.
Yeah.
In VIP.
Oh, there's also porta potties.
Porta pots, yeah. Yes. In VIP, you don't get a chair. Yeah. VIP, you get your bench seats. Mm-hmm. They also have VIP dining, where you have a buffet for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Mm-hmm. And indoor plumbing, which is huge.
Yeah, especially when it's hot out.
Yeah. We found VIP to be, one, very economical. Actually, everything is very economical. Rockfest is very affordable.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a very affordable festival. You can get tickets for under $200 for an entire weekend.
Yeah. Which is, like, unheard of. And, like, the bands that you get to see, it's nuts. Like, it's not a full set for most of them, but that's still insane.
Yeah. Yep, it's nuts. Mm-hmm. It's an incredible value. Mm-hmm. But we did VIP in 2016 at a time when it was not as competitive. Oh, yeah. Because we got these tickets in, like, October or November.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which you could not get them today.
No.
But I found it very, great. Especially for me as a kid at their first concert.
Yeah.
Because it provided respite. GA can be overwhelming at times.
Very overwhelming, yes.
And it was super nice to go sit in our seats away from everybody else, or to go into the VIP dining and not have people all over you.
Yeah.
Oh, they also have drinks and VIP. Free drinks. Drinks are included.
Yeah. And they literally have, like a horse trough that is full of, like, water bottles. Yeah. So you don't even have to talk to anyone. You can literally just go and grab.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think for, like, alcoholic beverages, they had, like, you can only get so many to try to help people from, like, over-drinking.
They also only allow you one drink out of VIP. So that you can't bring one to a friend. Yeah. Yeah. You can only carry out one drink. Mm-hmm. But of course, they, your one drink could be your huge Rockfest mug. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that'll get you through whatever band you're going to see out of the main stage area. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So, honestly, VIP is an incredible value. And that's why it sells out like it does.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and you get that, like, you are close. And I think my favorite part as, like, a more introverted person was that we always had a home base.
Yep.
that I knew who was going to be walking past us. Like, if somebody needed to go, like, directly in front of me, oh, yeah, those are our seat neighbors.
Yeah.
Like, I knew. Like, it wasn't going to be, like, random people trying to push through because, like, you can't get anywhere around the benches.
Yeah.
Like, there are aisles for you to get around in VIP, and if you try to cut through the benches, you're, like, screwed. You're going to piss off more people than anything.
Well, honestly, most of the benches, like, they end at a concrete wall.
Correct, yes.
So you can't get through.
Yeah, there's really no point. Yeah.
You're going, when you are entering into the bench area, that is your row of benches. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Don't they have, like.
It's cool.
They have backs on the benches with, like, a shelf.
Yeah.
So you basically have, like, a table for your drinks.
With the shelf? No.
I thought they had something on there.
I don't think so.
How did people have 2 drinks? I gotta go again.
Yeah, I don't know. You should ask your cousins.
I really should. They're
VIP.
pros. Yeah, they're VIP. Like,
they've gone to They've done VIP the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So
probably more than that at this point.
I don't know. It was semi-recently that they started going to Rockfest.
Yeah.
Anyway. But then VIP also gets VIP parking, which is the nearest parking area to the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is also nice. You have to walk less.
Yeah, you don't have to, like, walk across the road and, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I don't know if there's VIP camping.
I think there is, actually.
There might be.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I don't really know very much about camping because I haven't tried to camp in the GA camping sites. There's also I know there is corporate camping as well, which is located behind the main stage.
Oh?
Yeah.
What
So you're like,
mean?
You're like, huh?
What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Like, what does that entail?
Like corporate?
That it is, like, where it is and everything.
It's behind the main stage. It's kind of next to where like they have campsites, like the main campsite, I think it's campsite A probably, that is to main stage left.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
But beyond, like, on a grid, if you make a grid with Rockfest and, like, the fences they come to a T, or, like, the campsite meets the fence for backstage. The campsites that are in that space beyond that are corporate campsites.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And corporate people have like all access passes or whatever, things like that. And like, I think, it's places for like sponsors and things like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know exactly how corporate works.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they have their own dining area and things like that.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a whole
it makes sense that it's like sponsors and other.
It's a whole nother section of of the festival that is even beyond all of the everything else. It's beyond everything else. So let's talk about some of the people you'll find at Rockfest.
Yeah.
Rockfest is a place to dress your best and dress your skimpiest and
yes.
and everything in between.
Yes. Yep. Oh, yeah, there are people in wildly different outfits, all standing next to each other.
Yeah, things you can find, blow-up costumes, taped nipples, fancy, shiny, like, color-coded suits, rock outfits, just like what you would expect a metal fan to wear with, like, fishnets and combat boots and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was a very sunburnt man with chaps on.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was wearing pants under the chaps. But he was incredibly sunburnt.
Yeah, men without shirts who don't put on sunscreen.
Yes. Their man nippies just out.
And stupid shirts that say weird things, just funny, weird, stupid, obscene things,
like,
you know,
fuck,
or whatever.
what's his face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I'm a two-seater.
Oh my God.
Things like that.
Yeah.
You know, people like wear their funniest, grossest shirts.
Yeah. Okay, so Hollywood Vampires is Johnny Depp, right?
Yes.
Okay. When they were there, we saw someone with a shirt that said "If Lost, return to Johnny Depp." There were a lot of shirts like that. Like, they were like, I am with, like, these people. Mm-hmm. And they were definitely, like, homemade. These were not merch shirts. Like, these were, like when families go to Disney.
Yes. Yep.
They have matching shirts. Mm-hmm. Same sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Like, there are people who have, like, the bridesmaid sort of, like, they'll be wearing the same hat. You know, like, they'll all have, like, a coordinated outfit with their whole group.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yeah.
And, of course, band T-shirts are there.
Oh, yeah.
Dad wears his Hawaiian shirts, which he wears everywhere.
Correct.
And he does that. He does that for a reason. Because everyone else is wearing band T-shirts.
Yes.
And he looks different. And we can find him.
Yes, yeah.
And then...
He looks like a dad who's going to a barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he always looks that way.
Yes, that is his signature.
Yeah. So, and then you can also find people wearing costumes that are associated with the dress-up days. Mm-hmm. Rockfest has dress-up days, and it's super cool. There's been things like superheroes and villains, and there was like a video games day, like this time, and monsters, things like that. I feel like not enough people participate, you know?
Yeah.
Because I wish that, like, like me not knowing what the theme is.
Yeah.
And also me, like, being backstage and only seeing so many people in the crowd. I wish that there were enough people that were participating in it that I knew exactly what the theme is.
Was, yeah.
But it's a growing thing.
Yeah.
I think. And it's super fun. I'm like, okay, but the blow up costume section can be anywhere from also, like, I saw a woman who was a unicorn. A skeleton unicorn with rainbow mane and tail.
I love it.
I saw one of the aliens from Toy Story.
I love that.
Uh-huh. But it could also be just strapping a sex doll to your back. Mm-hmm. Or I saw some with a giant penis, a blow-up penis.
I love that. Were they just carrying it around, or were they wearing it? Oh, they were
carrying it around. There were balloons this year.
I love that.
In the crowd. Somebody was, like, making, like, blowing up balloons, and I don't know. They were coming from, like, the middle of the crowd.
Oh.
I don't know if there was somebody just with, like, helium in the crowd. I don't know if they were, like, someone who was hired by Rockfest or just somebody who's, but, like, you know, there were the big, huge balloons. There were these ones that were, like, corkscrew sperm shaped, like,
oh wow,
yeah, and those ones were they moved interestingly because, like, you'd hit them and they'd go wherever you hit them, but then they'd, like, come right back. They just, like, wiggle right back.
Oh, I love that.
There was also this weird like Jack looking thing, like that game where
yeah.
Because Jack means, like, a billion things.
Yeah.
But
the metal, like,
star-like thingy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that thing was huge and, like, didn't really, like, float as much. Like, it kind of, you know, when people pushed it, it, like, went a few inches and then back down.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of just, like, rested on top of the crowd.
Yeah.
But you could, like, push it around. Yeah. And then, yeah, so that's kind of what things are like. Oh, also, I guess you could talk about some of the festival things. They have huge games, like mega-sized games, like massive pool and beer pong and ladder golf and battleship. And they had that game where it's a ball in a maze and you tilt it to get the ball to the end. I think they added that this year because I was
mousetrap sort of thing.
Yeah, I was playing with it when it was because all the stuff gets stored.
Yeah.
At all the decorations and everything gets stored under our stage until the fest starts.
Oh, okay.
Just to like keep the stuff out of the rain. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think there was 1 year. I don't know if they still have it, but there was like human foosball.
Oh my god, really? That's fucking funny.
So I guess you and like a bunch of your friends would like grab onto these poles and then you kick the soccer ball. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still there because it seems like logistically it's kind of hard to do.
Yeah. I like it though.
But it was cool in theory. I remember like every time I walked past it, no one was using it.
Yeah.
It works. But anyway.
You have to get a group of people together.
Yeah,
that's kind of hard.
Group and yeah. So let's dig into my experience, maybe
a little bit.
Working at the festival. I am a stagehand on the Who's on Top stage. If that's not already obvious.
Yeah, you're kind of like, oh my god, it's the best stage.
Yeah, my stage. I keep saying my stage, our stage. I do think it's the best stage at Rockfest, and for the energy reasons, for the intimacy, for the you can see big bands, you get the standing room. And like honestly, I like also Rockfest having the balance between standing room and sitting is I think so cool because that's something that like when I'm at all standing room concerts, I'm like, oh my god, it's exhausting.
Oh yeah. And that's only for like a few hours.
Yeah. 3 sets of standing room only is exhausting. So
yeah, trying to do that all day long.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of other, like, festivals, people go back and forth all day. That's what they do. They camp there, and they go back and forth.
Yeah.
And for me, that's way more work.
Yeah.
Way more work. But, like, you have to, like, I had a couple friends who, I think they went to, like, Country Boom or something. And they were talking about how, like, they were only near the stage for like a couple hours at a time, and then they would go back, take a nap or something, and then come back. And I was like, you're missing so much.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many people that they like to do that, you know, like they'll go to Disneyland and they'll go take a nap in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Like, but people like us we don't feel that way. We don't go to these things often enough, maybe.
Yeah, to feel like it's okay. Like, I'm like, if I'm going, I'm getting the most out of this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how we feel. Yeah, it's I came here to see all of the bands. I didn't come here to nap.
Yes, yeah.
But hypocrite me, I come there, I nap.
Yeah, well, now you do. Yeah.
Now I nap. But, I mean, it's also like, our family doesn't come there to party.
Correct.
A lot of people come there to party.
Yes.
And when you party until 5 a.m., you have to pick a set to take a nap during.
Yes.
Or you will just die.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. Yeah. So I'm a stagehand. I help set up the Who's on Top stage. I help load in and load out bands. And I try to assist in as many places as I can, and I'm trying to learn more so that I can move up the ranks, become more valuable, try to make money.
Yes, yeah.
Some things about my experience, like we were just talking about camping, there's an employee campsite, and I camp there. I've got our dad's minivan is souped up with bug nets on the windows so I can roll down the windows and have a cross breeze. And I've installed solar panels this year as well in the windshield, and it's excellent. It's perfect. I have my phone charger, which is a battery pack on its own, so it'll charge when I go to sleep and it's dark for that 1 hour maybe, and then the battery pack will charge as the sun comes up.
Yeah.
And then I also have I have another battery pack that I take with me to the stage for and it tends to be what I charge my watch with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so last year I didn't have those things. And I was hurting for energy, but this year I was swimming in it and it was great. I had way more energy than I even thought I needed. Yeah. And it was so good. So nice. And I got a sleeping bag set up back there. I've got a yoga mat and then one of our blow up camping
it's like camping air mattress. Yeah.
And then a sleeping bag. And it's great. And honestly, I feel like it's better than everybody's tents. It takes no time to set up. You
set it up at home.
Yeah. It has I think it holds some of the heat from the day into the night. And then it keeps cool for a little bit in the morning.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like, my tent is freezing when I go to bed and it's blazing hot in the morning and I am woken up by the sun because I can't sleep anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can't relate.
Yeah. Because you literally have a roof over you and everything. Yeah.
And last year I didn't have the windshield all souped up and the sun visor is not big enough to fit over the entire van's windshield. But now with the solar panels in there, I have like a blanket to prop them up. Yeah. And so that also props up the sun visor. And now it's completely blocked off. So the sun doesn't even peek in and shine in my eyes anymore. And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got my suitcase next to me in the van and it has its space it goes in. We're set, me and my suitcase. I've got water too. Bring a jug of water with and it's fantastic. I bring some snacks in the form of usually Oreos mostly and Cliff Bars. And I've got a cooler, and the first year I left the cooler in my van. Don't do that anymore because it just got hot. The cooler gets hotter than the van at a certain point.
Yeah.
But now I put it backstage, outside of our stage manager's camper.
Yeah.
There it's in the shade.
Yes, yeah, and it's not in something that heats up. And then cools down.
The ice runs out by like Friday. And then if I can refill it, I can refill it and it's good. But if I don't refill it, it's also like kind of okay. Because I also don't keep stuff that like really needs to be cold.
Yeah. It's a preference thing.
Yeah. Like some of the guys just like, they're like a warm beer, a lukewarm beer is terrible. But I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. It depends on the beer, but yeah.
Yeah. But anyway.
Don't let your aunt hear this.
Why?
She literally had koozies made that were like, may your beers never be warm or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've got my cooler. It's got some beers in it and whatever else, some drinks. I've got like Gatorade. I got Liquid Death tea this year. Spring with. That was good. And then I've got peaches and Cliff Bars and applesauce. And yeah, just some snacks to like hold me over on the days that I don't get to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we do get catering.
Whether or not you have time for it.
Sometimes I don't have time to go all the way over there. And so Cliff Bars gonna hold me over. What I do with catering is they have dinner rolls.
Ooh.
And when I'm done with dinner, I grab a to-go container of rolls.
Oh my God.
And catering ends at 10. They close at 10 p.m. Yeah. We don't go to sleep until 3.
Yeah.
We don't start partying until 3. So that's how I stave off being too drunk when we are done for the day and we start partying. Is I have rules.
Yes.
So like I'll just wander away and have rules. I don't like being drunk to the point where I think that other people can perceive me as drunk.
Yes.
Yes? Like if I feel tipsy, I'm like, oh no, gotta go get some bread.
Yeah.
I need to absorb all this alcohol. It needs to go.
Yeah.
I can't let people see me drunk.
Yeah. I've never gotten past like the feeling a little bit like more chill, a little bit more free. The second that I feel like I'm starting to be like weird, I shut it down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So I do not wish people to perceive me as drunk. And so I will wander away from the group and go get bread and then come back. Yeah. And like, also like sometimes they go, where the fuck did you get that? And I'm like, I planned ahead.
Yeah.
That's where I got it.
Yeah. You were making eye contact with one of the catering people and you're just like, I'm taking these.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, I was like, can I have
close your clamshell?
Can I have a to-go box? bread.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're like, that's for everyone. You're like, is that...
Okay, I put like 4 to 5 rolls in this container.
Yeah. Well, it's not... Yeah,
it's not excessive.
I know. I don't think you're going crazy.
I don't just take the basket of rolls and go, thank you.
You could, though.
Would I? No. So, yeah. But that's what we also like when we're partying. We'll go out. We will either stay on the stage and like, honestly, those are the days that are the most fun. Because then we just hang out with each other and like sometimes we'll like throw things off the stage or whatever. Like drinks. Like we have like one of the guys is just obsessed with kicking other people's drinks.
Really?
Yeah. Kind of a dick move.
Yeah. Especially if they paid money for it.
Correct. But if you set it down, I'm going to kick it.
He's like...
That's exactly what he's like.
He waddles over. He's like, I've been summoned.
And his laugh is just out of this world.
He thinks it's the funniest thing. Like a toddler.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God.
Or we will go into the campsites because our passes will get us into the campsites. And we'll go walk around and see all the drunk people. It's more like just a spectacle.
Yeah, you're sightseeing.
It's also like, we don't really hang out in any of the spaces.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I feel like they're not really for us.
Yeah.
We're never really into it very much. And like it's either like the sound guys are upset by the sound.
You guys are all nerds
or,
and you can't handle the real world anymore.
Yeah. Oh my God. Last year, like, we couldn't even go to like any of the other stages because they were like, ugh, this sound is so bad. Like,
is your
purists.
Do you only hang out with the people who are from your company?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't mix across stages?
No.
Okay.
They're so far away. How could we possibly?
Well, don't they all, like, camp in a similar location?
Yeah. But there's no way to know who's a stagehand and who's somebody else. And also, like, we're at our campsite for, like, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah.
And, like, when we get there, usually there's, like, nobody awake.
Yeah.
You know?
It's late enough, yeah.
Yeah. and like no one's gonna want to have a conversation with you, everyone's grumpy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
But I think main stage is union, so they actually get breaks.
Holy shit.
And shifts and stuff like that. I saw them setting up cornhole. I'm pretty sure it was the main stagehand.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, imagine having time for cornhole.
You're like, fuck, I'm lucky if I have time for a beer.
Yeah, I'm like, I have time for a nap in my hammock under the stage.
Yeah.
Like, come all the way the fuck back here and play a game. Yeah. Yeah, I bring a hammock, and it's honestly also one of the best things about it.
Yeah.
I've got my hammock, and I got my blanket in my hammock, and every once in a while, I go and I try to take a nap, and I never really fall asleep because I'm terrible at taking naps, but...
Yeah.
But it is a time to kind of rest.
Yeah. It gives you a form of rest. It's not the most restful, but...
Yeah. And our stage manager also has, like, some nice lawn chairs, too, that we can sit in outside of his camper. And then we also bring lawn chairs. We put them up in the corner on the stage. And that way you're a little bit more accessible, but you can still sit down.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. And we got, like, fans and stuff up there.
Yeah.
We're so fancy.
Yeah. Got your lawn chairs and your fans. You're like, fuck yeah. And these guys are in a union.
Yeah.
So they get breaks and 8-hour shifts.
And like access to like air conditioned spaces. Oh man. But it's like 10 degrees cooler under the stage.
Oh yeah. It's shaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time. And it's like kind of in the dirt. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that main stage doesn't have.
Yeah.
We got dirt.
I don't know if they... dirt. Yes. They have concrete and gravel. We have dirt. And grass. So fuck you.
Yeah. You're like, I can walk around
You can't
barefoot.
afford grass. You have more parking, you know, and space for your bands to actually be, but we have dirt.
Yep.
You have green rooms. We don't. We have dirt. We have spiders.
On stage.
We have spiders.
Yeah. Where are your spiders?
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys have
like
on stage and backstage, and they've got green rooms.
Yep.
Losers.
Yep. We do have bands that use green rooms, but they have to go all the way backstage.
Yeah.
Which is the Who's on Top stage is named so because it is on the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Main stage is on the bottom of the hill.
Yes.
So they have to take golf cart trips.
Yeah.
Down to their green rooms.
Yeah.
And catering and everything else.
Which isn't the worst, but...
It's not the worst.
Yeah.
But they kind of have to have our stage manager and then, like, beck and call so that they can get back and forth. Yeah. So one other thing that I do is I get to be the lucky person to run the spotlight.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. And, like... You know, other people think it's really cool. I mean, it's not the worst job, but like spotlight is also like, I mean, it's the thing that you force the new guy to do because it's really easy and nobody wants to do it. Yeah. And I still get to be that person, even though it's my second year. And I think I'm still pretty much the low man on the totem pole. Yeah. So I get to do that. That is, we have a front of house structure, which is the space towards the like back of the crowd where you'll find like a sound mixer and a lighting console and like things like that. And above that, there was a crow's nest. And in that is the spot. And we also have a camera crew it's not it's a different company, but
Yeah.
there are a couple cameras and a couple spotlights on top of this front of house structure.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to go up there and do the spot, and it's kind of fun. It's a great place to see the performance.
Yeah.
People in the crowd are like, "Wow, I saw you up there. It's so cool."
And you're like, shut up, I'm trying to follow this guy.
And I'm like, my feet are so tired.
Yeah.
I did get a stool up there this time. That made it so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does get exhausting, though.
Mm-hmm.
You're, like, up there for an hour wrangling this huge thing.
You're, like, manhandling this spot.
And it's never, like, it's got, like, a... Spotlights, they're, like, finicky, and it'll get into this, like, groove.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it would be nice if the groove that it got into was, like, at the right level.
Yeah, but of course it's not.
But it's never... So then you have to, like, hold it just a little bit up or down.
Yeah.
And so you have to, like, always be, like...
You're always touching
holding
it.
it in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't just set it and forget it for a second.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like if your car isn't aligned, you have to keep your hand on the wheel. Because if you let go, you're moving.
Yeah.
Like you're in the wrong spot.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's Spotlight.
Yeah.
And, like, I think that's what, like, our cousins and our aunt and uncle, like, that's the only thing that they, I think, understand about my job.
So is that you run the spot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, they that's what they think that my work is. Like they're like, oh, like which bands do you need to do it for? You know, or so, you know, stuff like that. Like.
Yeah.
Oh, you're working during the headliner and nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, no, I actually have to work the whole time. There's other stuff I do.
Yeah.
I'm loading bands in and out, which is bringing their gear on and off.
Yeah.
I also patch, which is what it's called when you plug in all the cords.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm learning how to do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of important.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure everything is plugged in right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is me trying to make myself more valuable.
Yeah.
I should get a premium for running spot. Why don't I get paid? I get like $10 extra for running spot.
You want $10 extra for running spot?
Yes.
Why?
'Cause it's not really a stagehand job. I'm part of the light crew.
You are part of the light crew. Does the light crew make more money than you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Our lighting director has a day rate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a day rate. I have a week rate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my week rate is lower than his day rate.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to make yourself more important.
Yes. That's the goal.
Might I ask what your week rate is?
$200.
Oh my god, really?
Yes. That's ridiculous shit.
That is crazy.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, speaking of loading in and out, this weekend I had an incident. Loading in a band. I took a tote from them that had their snake in it. A snake is a bunch of cables bound together.
Yeah, not in like a ball. They're all like in line together.
Yes.
It makes a whole bunch of little cables into a big cable.
Correct.
Yes.
And I was like, I could carry it, yeah. And I think it was like the second thing that I took from them. I came in like halfway through the load in because I was patching, and then I was like, oh, I'll go help. Yeah. And apparently, I don't know, maybe I just shouldn't jump in the middle. Maybe I should pay attention more. I don't know. But I forgot the way our ramp was set up. Sometimes the ramp will set right into a trailer. Sometimes it will set onto the trailer's ramp. Mm-hmm. And it depends on where things are parked and everything. This one was set onto the trailer's ramp, which means that it went down before it went up. Mm-hmm. And I forgot that it did that, and I had my feet covered by a
you couldn't see. Yeah.
Couldn't see my feet. And I thought that it was, it was time for me to step up, but I needed to step down. Yep. So I confidently stepped up, and then I lost my footing, and I landed on my knees. Ugh. And I was lucky. My stage manager was right there. Uh-huh. And he saw the whole thing. He came running, and he was like, "Give me that. I'm taking you to the med tent." Uh-huh. And I was like, I'm okay. I don't need to like be rushed to the med tent or whatever. He was like, "No, you're gonna get in my cart, and we're gonna go over there right now." Mm-hmm. And he was like, "I've seen guys before like try to tough it out, and like there was a guy that had like a gash in his leg, and he wouldn't go to the med tent, and like by the end of the weekend it was like this like gross like bruise looking thing all expanding from the gash, and like he's like, "No, we're gonna get you to the med tent, get you fixed up right away." Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I went and I got 2 bandages on my knees, and
and that was your good morning snap.
It looked great, yeah. Actually, no, that's not true. I think I sent something else as my good morning snap. I sent only the picture of my knees to you, Zach, and Clayton. Oh. Because I thought you 3 would be the only ones who cared.
Yeah. I was like, that's ugly. What happened?
And so you 3 were the first ones to know. Mm-hmm. And then I told Mom later at night, and she sent me a message back. She was like, "Were you drinking?"
Oh my God.
And I was like, "No, I wasn't drinking at 11 a.m.
She didn't know it happened at 11 a.m.
I know.
Oh my God.
But I said, "No, I wasn't drinking at 11 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah, when you tell her at like 3 a.m., she's gonna think it happened at like maybe earliest 11 p.m., not 11 a.m.
Yeah, I know. But anyway. Yeah, so that's one thing that happened, and I thought that was going to be the most eventful thing that happened that weekend. Mm-hmm. But I was wrong. That happened on Friday. Saturday, I was approached by one of the guys on our crew and a band member. Mm-hmm. And they asked me if I would like to help out that band member with something instead of running the spot. And I was like, anything to get out of spot.
Yeah. You were like, I don't want to have to climb up in that crow's nest again.
No, not really. And there wasn't even spot. I was surprised at how much spot happened at Rockfest. Mm-hmm. Wednesday and Thursday, I had to run spot. Mm-hmm. And, like, usually I have to run spot 0 times. Like, usually it's something that is exclusively for Country Fest. Yeah. Because they want their lead to be highlighted. But Rockfest, they want the strobes to have a better effect, because it really kind of ruins the strobe effect.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so I was approached. The band member introduced himself as Mix, and he said, "I've got a job for you to do if you're up for it, and it involves pushing buttons when I tell you to." And I said, "I'm so up for it. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah."
You said, "I'm your monkey."
Yeah.
Tell me to dance.
Hell yeah. And I'm very, I think I have a reputation for saying yes to things and like wanting to learn as much as I can. So the other people on our stage have started going to me as like, she's the girl who she'll help. If somebody needs help, she'll help. Yeah. And she wants to learn about this thing and that thing and all the things. And like, So she's the one to go to when you just need an extra hand because some of the other hands also like don't really want to do shit.
Yeah.
And to be fair, we don't make enough money to want to do the shit.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think part of it is that this is what you want to do.
Yes.
So you have more of a drive. Mm-hmm. Whereas I think some people, like, this is their, like, summer job.
Well, and some of them, too, like a lot of the other stagehands, they want to do stagehand things. They're there to load the bands in and out.
Yeah.
And after that, they're like, get fucked.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit down.
Yeah.
You know.
They're like, this is my break.
I think it's fair because that's what they're paid to do. And they aren't paid to do more than that. They aren't paid enough to do more than that. And I am setting a terrible precedent by being willing to do things, but it's also giving me the opportunities to do things. Like, I'm doing it because I want to learn.
Yes.
And I want to get to a point where I am valuable enough that I can make a little bit more money.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing. And I'm always for helping the bands with whatever they need. Which is why I do things like Spotlight and shit. Yeah, so it's like, all right, sick. You'll be my guy, and I'll see you at 6:30 for 2 Live Crews set. And so I was like, sick. Let's do this. And I knew that I was going to be running the thing that I was running I was going to be doing it from the stage side of things, not the front of house.
Yeah.
I knew that. But I didn't know until about 5 minutes before the set that I was going to be on the stage.
Yeah. Were you just wearing your, like, regular clothes?
Well, yeah. Yeah. I had a moment where I was like, man, I wish I had cooler clothes on.
Yeah.
I wish I had brought cooler clothes. Because I just had my work stuff. I was wearing a Hufflepuff cutoff. And, like, jorts and... And like, not that anybody really saw my shorts, but because I did have a dead case and a board in front of me. But but I did get a couple other accessories. So I was, getting ready for my set. I was hanging out with Mix and like talking about like, oh, this is like the plan. And he was like, I've got 50 songs on 50 buttons. Each one is a song, and I'll tell you when to hit the button. He's like, the set list is in my head, and I'll just call it out to you. And
it would make me feel so anxious.
Well, yes,
but I mean, you're like really in tune with the performer, so
yeah, I am a performer. I'm not a very like. I'm not like a great performer, you know, but I'm not someone who's just gonna like freeze on stage. Yeah. So I was like, I can handle this. It'll be cool. The guy who had recommended me to do it, he came up to Mix and he was like, you should give her one of your chains so she can like look the part. And he was like, yeah. Just like took off one of his chains and put it on me. And then, I didn't explain why this was happening. So 2 Live Crew lost most of their band members in transit.
Oh, no.
There was an IT failure this weekend, which caused a lot of planes to not fly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they got stuck at the airport. And that's how they ended up with only Mix and their videographer.
That's insane.
Yeah. That's how they got into a position where they needed a DJ.
Yeah.
And that's what I was doing.
That's crazy, though, that he was like, we're going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's me and this guy.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And they have like dancers too, and they didn't make it. Like it was just him.
Yeah.
But he was like, we're gonna do it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
And like,
awesome.
there's a lot of people that would just cancel, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And people get upset too when the whole band's not there.
Yeah.
But it's something that you can't really control. And like, the thing is that like, it's you either get part of the band or you don't get the band at all.
Yeah, you get an empty set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happens. And like, sometimes there are people that are able to fill in, other bands that are able to fill in.
Yeah.
But like, it's you still got to see the performance.
It's literally a rock or a hard place. Like, those are your options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then the videographer came up with 4 hats, and he was like, "You want her to rock the pink one?" And so I had a chain and a hat. 2 Live Crew hat that was signed. Yeah. And then it was like, I'm ready. It's time to go. We got introduced by Bags from 95.7 The Rock.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Nice.
I should have talked to him.
Yeah.
I think maybe I should try to reach out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, hey, yo, I was the person.
Yeah.
That
maybe they'll
skinty
interview
little white
me.
girl.
Maybe they'll interview me.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, man. But,
I love Bags' voice. I just gotta say
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I went, he finished introducing us, and I went on stage, and the crowd was like, whoa!
They were like, who the fuck?
Yeah, I'm sure they were all like, who is this white girl?
Yeah. With a chain and a pink hat.
Yeah.
Like, I belong here.
Yes. Yeah. And if you don't know who 2 Live Crew is, they are an 80s rap group.
Yes.
And yeah, they make also like very sexual lyrics.
Yes.
They make dance music.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's very sexual in nature. Yeah, and like I didn't really know all that information when I went on stage.
The first song that pops up is Pop That Pussy.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I went out and everybody was like, what? And I started the intro, and then Mix came on, and he went out there and rapped and had his set, and also like he introduced me to the crowd. He was like, this is Cydel. She's my intern for the day. She got the internship of a lifetime.
Yeah.
And he had this call and response that was fun, where he was like, hey, Cydel. And like did that twice. And then play number 7. Play number 7, you know, and it was really cute and fun.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I didn't dance enough, but I don't know. I really didn't know quite exactly the energy to bring.
Yeah.
Because like as a DJ, I'm not a dancer.
Yes.
But like I should be moving some.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard to find the
you
spot.
You didn't have like a dress rehearsal.
Yep.
Like you were literally just thrown out there.
Yeah.
You don't want to be like too crazy into what you're doing. He's like, yo, pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I started out like I was just standing there because I was getting tuned in because I was like, I've got to listen for when he's calling out numbers.
Yeah.
So that I don't miss any cues. So at first I was like getting tuned in, and like it looked like I was probably like really bored and serious. And then also like if it was a band that like I knew all their songs, like I'd just be singing along and hopping, you know, and all that stuff. But like I don't know the lyrics to a lot of the songs, so I knew some of them.
Believe it or not, a lot of these aren't songs that we would have listened to in our childhood.
Yeah,
which you are freshly out of.
Yeah. Yeah. believe it or not, I was not in the club in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and you will regret that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got into it, eventually, and I like caught on and was able to sing along with some of the like choruses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it ended up being a cool thing, and like there were lots of people that were jealous of me, and it was fun to hear all the people,
like your coworkers, or
not my coworkers,
uh-huh.
but there was a guy who I think he was a part of like security maybe or something like that. And he was like, damn, I'm a DJ and I'm a fan of 2 Live Crew and I should be up there, and it's like, but the only reason that I'm there is because I was at the right place at the right time.
Yes, right place, right time. Yep. And he had no qualifications. To be doing security. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he had a job to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks for him, but also it was pretty cool for you, so...
Yeah. And it filled a bucket list item, which was to play on that stage and to join a band.
Yeah.
Because, like, apparently when you play, like, temporarily with a band, you're technically a member, and it's weird, but...
Yeah. That is kind of weird.
I'm like, everybody has to start somewhere, and I guess I started at 2 Live Crew.
Yep. Yeah, a band that kind of, like, their heyday was a decade before you were born.
Uh-huh. A bigger band than I ever expected to be in. Rap?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rap group?
Yep.
I thought I was going to be in a rock group.
Yes, yeah.
In a rock band. But now I'm a DJ for a rapper, I guess. And, like, yeah. But there were people that were like, man, you're my childhood, and I'd have like your pictures in my locker, and the teachers would be like telling me how to take them down and stuff like that. Like people, and they were like, you're the soundtrack of my childhood, of my life, and like, and I was like, I can't relate, and like,
you're like, I'm here.
Yeah. And there were there was one guy who he came up to me during loadout, and he was like, can I have your autograph? And like, he was telling me that stuff, and I was like, he was sometimes it like sounded like he was saying that like I was the person, I was like, I'm like, I'm not the person who did all that stuff, you know? I'm just the person who helped out today. Yeah. And like, but then like, I know that he realized, I know he like, he was also like, it is so cool that you got the opportunity to be up there with them. And so it's cool. And I got to take lots of pictures and stuff. And so.
Yeah, that's like a backstage experience like no one gets to have.
It's the one that everybody wants.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 That's awesome.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. So, I mean, yeah. You just gotta be at the place, I guess. And like...
Oh, yeah, no, like...
That's what people keep telling me too. I talked to like people who are on bands crews or like their tour managers and stuff, and they're like, you just gotta be in this space and you gotta be like available. That's all you gotta do. You just talk to the tour manager and to get on a tour or something like that, you just gotta
you did the exact right thing in that time, and you just happened to be the one person who was in the right place. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, what have you got?
Well, for my segment, we're going to kind of move to another sort of outdoor venue. I wanted to talk about drive-in movie theaters in Wisconsin.
Okay.
So I did a quick Google. I have only been to one of these, but I kind of wanted to see how, like where they are in Wisconsin, like just how popular they are. Are there 25? And I'm like missing it or something. But Google says that there are 8 drive-in theaters in Wisconsin. Okay. There's one in the Dells, in the Wisconsin Dells. I should probably say the whole name. Richland Center, Jefferson, Freedom, Chautauqua, Monroe, Franklin, and Chilton. Which, Chilton, okay. I immediately thought of those books that your dad has for working on cars.
Oh, yes.
So I was like, what? But it's very fitting for a drive-in movie theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have been to the one in Wisconsin Dells.
Yes.
Because our family kind of does like a yearly-ish family vacation to the Dells.
Yep.
Or at least when we were growing up, because it's more local than like trying to go to like Florida every year or something. So we would like do different things every year, and one year that was like a kind of like our big thing is that we went to the drive-in movie. Mm-hmm. So the theater there is called Big Sky Twin Drive-In Theater. Mm-hmm. And they call it like a twin drive-in theater for 2 different reasons. 1, they have 2 screens. Mm-hmm. And 2, they show double features on each screen.
Yes.
So it is 4 movies in a night. Mm-hmm. They open nightly from like early May until fall, and that kind of depends on weather and how popular the season has been. Mm-hmm. So like their attendance. And truly, I love going to the drive-in. I love it so much. That first time that we went, I remember we saw Tomorrowland.
Yes.
Which I have not been able to find that movie anywhere.
Well, it's not a very good movie.
No, but I still want to like recreate it in our backyard. Ah. Like, I just want to pretend like I'm like...
It's not on Disney Plus?
No. I know. Bad. Yeah, it wasn't a good movie. I wouldn't rate it high, but I want to watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the only one. And I'm a Disney person, so the fact that I'm like, meh. Like, I've let a lot of stuff, like, slide and said, like, oh, yeah, it's a really good movie. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I also like that it's kind of, like, stepping back in time almost. Because it's not a very modern place. Like, they haven't fixed everything up. Yeah. So, like, when you go into their concession, it's not a stand, their concession building.
We're talking about Big Sky.
Big Sky, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you thinking of?
Tomorrowland.
Oh my god, no. The movie theater. I understand where you're confused.
Yes.
No, the drive-in movie theater. Uh-huh. It's like stepping back in time. For one, you're going to a drive-in movie.
Yeah.
Second, the concession stand building thing. Mm-hmm. Everything looks like it's out of like an 80s movie. And I love it so much. Mm-hmm. Like, there's neon signs. They have their like red and white popcorn, like, machine. Like, it's a whole vibe. They do have modern bathrooms, or at least more modern, but there's only, like, 3 stalls in the women's. So if you have to pee and you know that your movie is coming to an end, it might be worth missing just a little bit of the end of your movie if you have to go. And then they still have like the speaker poles. They don't have the speakers there, but they kind of use them to mark the parking spots. Mm-hmm. So I just think that's kind of cool. Like, you can like go right up to it, and I like to pretend because I'm silly like that. But then you set your radio station to the frequency. Uh-huh. And I think that the whole experience is amazing.
Yeah.
Just me. But Big Sky specifically, they are a cash-only place, which also for me feels kind of old-timey because I have a debit card. I don't carry cash. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's a zillennial in me that I just don't have cash ever.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I just wanted to give you a couple good reasons to go to the drive-in movies. Number 1, it is a crazy experience. Number 2, the dates are awesome. Like, if you can get a date there, especially at Big Sky, you got 2 movies. I think their entrance fee, the last time I went, was $10 a person.
Yeah.
2 movies for $20. for 2 people. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's like $5 a movie. You will never see that anywhere else.
Yes.
And like, it's just a whole experience. Like, going to the movie theater itself is an experience, but like, bringing your car, like, some people bring like chairs and they bring like little setups. And of course, you're not supposed to bring any food in, but I always do. I smuggle food in. But like Cydel was saying about the van, like how you have your, like the van set up, I do that shit. I will prep the van with like...
You took advantage of my bug nets.
Correct.
To make the van into the optimal place.
But
movie.
Another thing is that with Alex and I, when we went, because we went to go see Barbie and there was another movie after that, but my wife fell asleep in the middle of Barbie, so we only watched the first movie. I made this cozy, like, hangout in the back, and, like, I bought snacks, and I bought drinks, and I had everything, like, all of our favorite stuff. She fucking falls asleep and starts snoring on me. But in, like, that whole thing, like, I could also use AC. Because with, like, the van, like, they ask you to turn off your vehicles, but, like, 90% of people are in their vehicle anyway. The van's not super loud when it's running. And I had the AC on, and it wasn't a problem. We were in, like, the back 40, too, so nobody cared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could bring your dog.
Yes. Like, these are things you can't do
in
a regular
at the
movie theater.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, yes. I love when people bring their doggies.
Yeah.
They're so cute. I've seen a lot of people with their, like, lounge, like, yard chairs climb into their truck bed.
Yeah.
And they just hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, it works.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yep.
I just like it. I was thinking about it today, and I was like, I want to talk about drive-in movies because I love them. Like, that is, like, one of my favorite date spots to go. And we've gone a couple times as a family. I think only twice. I don't remember what the second time was, but, like, I bugged your parents so we went back.
Yeah.
I actually, one winter, I wanted to set up 3 Christmas trees in my room with my TV so I could pretend like I was in a drive-in movie.
You're obsessed.
That might have been COVID. Been COVID.
Oh, yeah, I think it was.
But, yeah, I was like, I loved that vibe.
Christmas trees.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So mine is super short. I didn't get too much, like, history just because they didn't have much on their website. So, just going off of what I got.
Yeah.
Just a little plug. I would love to know when they started and everything, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cute little place. And, yeah, it's so worth checking out.
Yeah, and I hope they're open forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just super cool that you get to see 2 movies. And if you don't want to watch the same movies as, like, people that you're hanging out with, you can still go to the same place. And, like, you pay for your movie, you know, and, like, you could just bring 2 different cars and you guys are still hanging out. Like, you can meet at the concession stand. Like, you can, like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. It's way cooler than, like, having to, and you can be on your phone if you're bored.
Yeah.
You can't really do that in a regular movie theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. Zach and I did also bring food in last time we went.
Yeah. It's not uncommon.
But that's because, like, dinner, like, it took a really long time for us to get our food at dinner because we went to too busy of a place. And so then we had to take it with or not eat it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Honestly, that's almost better than sitting in the restaurant. Because then you get to hang out. I don't know. I love a minivan is perfect for a drive-in.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's all I got. I wanted to be short and sweet because I knew you were going to come in with something heavy. So
Yeah. So now you've got 2 things to check out to
on
piece
those
of
summer
entertainment.
nights.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
In Wisconsin.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to Cheese, a Healthy Fruit. Our cover art is by MJ Hennessey. Our theme song is by Melina Marchese. You can find her at melinamarchese.com. Follow the podcast on Instagram at cheese_a_healthy_fruit, Jade at Jade Powers with an extra S, and Cydel at Cydel Powers, spelled Cydel. If you have any questions or want to submit a story from your childhood, email us at cheeseahealthyfruit@gmail.com. Sources can be found in the show notes. You can find Cheese, a Healthy Fruit wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Subscribe to Cheese, a Healthy Fruit and leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcasting app. See you next time. Bye-bye.